Hey up lads and lasses, Damphyre here, back again with some more Infinite Lagrange. Today I wanted a quick look at the CAS and the CV-M011, the new variants. I've been asked quite a bit, apparently no one's really covered them properly. So I will do what I can. I have part of the CV, but I don't have anything of the CAS, so into the blueprints here for me on the boxes to find the CAS, and I've gone past it. There we go. So the new support type actually looks not too bad at 18 CP. It's, in theory, without the strategy, which I'll get onto in a minute, it's slightly worse than, say, a series. At 9 CP for 2 UAVs, you're getting 3 CP here for 18. So, you know, the series can run, 2 series for 4 UAVs at 18 CP. So that is a bit unfortunate, but at the same time, you are getting cruiser health here, cruiser armor here, and it's actually bringing, some damage as well, where the series doesn't do any of that. So there's, an opportunity here where this actually might just be better in that healing slot, due to the fact that A, it's got a better strategy in my opinion, B, it's got some damage potential, which we'll look at in a second, and see, that strategy actually does something quite interesting. And yeah, so let's have a quick look at the weapon system. So you get one of the big anti-ship cannons, which is the 300 damage, and you get the 40 damage per hit generic cannon. Now the reason this is interesting is if you look at any of the other variants, they're pretty much the same. No, that's the Damphyre missile. Integrated battery. So you've lost one cannon compared to base. I believe the artillery's like identical as well. I know the artillery, you lose like all the cannons apparently. I didn't realise that. The aircraft version as well, you lose one of the cannons, I think, off the... I know it keeps... Yeah, it's only got one anti-ship cannon, even though it's modelled with 2. I've only just noticed that. Need to tell the devs they need to add +1 or remove a cannon. So yeah, so the support type, you're still getting, one of those cannons up there, which is quite nice. The 300 damage per hit, they, hit quite well. They fire pretty regularly. And the 4 anti-aircraft, and these do have counterattack. However, something to quickly note is they do have anti-aircraft support. The primary weapons lock onto enemy aircraft in the nearby row and launches attacks, increasing the hit rate by 40% every 30 seconds for 25 seconds. It's the exact same thing that we get on the Ruby Ion, and it works out quite nicely. So there's a good chance that this CAS is actually going to be pretty good. It is sat in the mid-row, so, with relics and stuff like that, it might actually do a bit of AA for you at the same time as, armor's at 50, but we've got the armor system here, which we can probably pump it up to around 80 armor, which is quite nice, maybe around 80,000 HP. So it's going to stick around quite well. It's going to take a fair amount of damage to remove them, unlike the series and like the Nomas. If you've ever run them and something does get their eye on them, they absolutely just get decimated. They drop in seconds. It doesn't matter really what's happening, and that's with their strategy where below certain HP threshold, the UAVs are going to go berserk and mega heal the shit back up to full, but it doesn't work enough, I don't think. It might do a little bit better now, but still, it hasn't got the armor to give it that sort of increased HP heal that's happening when you actually have armor and stuff like that. You get a heal buff, basically. So all that going for it, and then we get to the UAV. Like I said earlier, we get 3 UAVs here, which is quite nice, and obviously can't see all the mods here, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's probably got pretty decent healing potential, I'd have thought. But the really interesting thing here is the other strategy. Speed up repair, increases the repair efficiency and reduces the repair duration of repair UAVs in the system by 40% every 30 seconds. 3 UAVs getting a 40% buff is basically equivalent to having 4 and a bit, just under 4 UAVs even. which actually makes this as efficient as the series when that is actually triggered and going off. So it actually has got the healing potential to do really, really damn well. This might be the new healer to run, especially I know people have already found out that those super heavy fleets I said might be a thing, or probably a thing now. And if you have these, I think that's what you try and back them up with, those super heavy fleets. You got more armor here, so they're going to heal themselves better, you know, because of the higher armor. Big HP buffer as well, which is quite nice. You know, 30 seconds of most of its time probably up is going to be spent with a 40% heal buff. And that's before you add in any of the other mods, where it's got 5 more slots left over for increased healing or RTB to get them out and back faster, maybe lock-on speeds, that kind of thing. So yeah, the CAS is definitely worth having a check out, the new CAS support in that role, and it's quite nice that we got it actually, because I'd like to see more CASs. I think they're quite a cool-looking ship in my opinion. Yeah. Not a bad one, is it? Look, maxed out, these things look banging as well. So, CAS support type, definitely, if you've got one, or, you know, because now if you get a bit of it, you can run one, maybe test it out, put it in fleet. Even one of in fleet's not going to be, like, horrendous. Obviously, you're going to need more healing than that, so you might have to sort of put in some series or put in some Noma just to back it up until you unlock it. But once unlocked, yeah, maybe, like, 3-4 of these in fleet is probably enough, and that runs you, what, 36, 72 CP. It's a bit expensive, I guess, but for that healing slot. But again, like I said, it is bringing a bit of damage. It's got AA capabilities, and it's got the arm and the HP to stick around for the fight. So definitely worth checking out the CAS 066, in my opinion. So, next up, because I actually have a bit of one of these, we'll go into my blueprints and we'll have a quick look. And this has made my life so much easier doing these kind of reviewy sort of things, because now I can, you know, actually look at the mods and stuff, and something that I haven't got, I've only got part of. So yeah, this is actually quite nice. Someone let me know, because I'm not currently able to check this. If you get like over a 50% research, because all the ones that I've got left are like 20%, 25%. If you've got a 35%, well, over a 50%, do you get like make 2 of these maybe or something like that? Or is it just 1 until you unlock it? Because the missed opportunity there, I feel that if they did 1 for every 10% that you've researched, that'd actually be really, really nice and help players out, especially newer players. A lot, because some of these ships that you do only run like 3, 4, 5 of, if you've got the active servers up to like 50%, which is quite, you know, reasonable for the most part, you can run some of these variants, which should help players out quite well. So, you never know, maybe I'll ask the devs to do something like that in the future and see if they do it. So the CV-M011 high-speed missile corvette is interesting. It's a new anti-air corvette. Its main weapon system targets air. We got the 2 missile launchers here. They don't do much damage. It's 65 damage per hit. They've only got air defense 624 per minute. So we've got a 6-second attack duration, 2 attacks per round with a 6-second cooldown, and a 4-second lock-on, which is actually not bad. So, do I think these are going to be... No, they're not going to be the TA-100s at the end of the day, are they? What's interesting is how, if we look at the main screen here, so we have this 1,000 damage, only 600's coming from that main missile system, so the rest is coming from the cannons, and these are counter-attack, which is a little bit awkward, I feel. I will note, though, that if it is attacking aircraft, there's a good chance it's being attacked, so these counter-attack cannons might actually do a little bit of work. So there is a possibility here that the measly 400 damage per minute might actually help, so it's not too bad. My problem is even if you include that counter-attack cannon, you're at 1,000 DPM for each one of these, and that's at base. The T800's double that. It's at 2000 at base DPM. And so this is half of it. And I just don't think that makes it particularly viable. At the same time, though, there's, potential there. If your fleet is a little bit more weapon-focused, anti-ship with ships, then being able to stack more AA is probably not a bad idea. Like, if you're running Eris and Ios and Callisto and that kind of thing, having these in fleet with T800s and Mistrals and Strix and that kind of thing, just to absolutely burst down the bombers and that kind of thing of the enemy, has got potential there. So you may actually see these in use. I haven't been able to test them because, like I said, I literally picked this up this morning even, this one of. So yeah, anti-missile system, it's not particularly great. The cannons are counter-offensive. It's probably going to get attacked though, so the chances are they're going to work. The only other noticeable thing here is we do have increased evasion. We can get a bit more evasion. We can get an extra 8 evasion. It's not enough, in my opinion, to keep these alive whatsoever. And with a 4-second lock-on speed, these are going to be out in front quite a bit. They haven't got too bad of a HP buffer, and if you have got them all, you can, I believe, build 15. Yeah, you can build 15 of these things. So it's not completely unreasonable. We got hit rate bonuses. The crit stuff here might be interesting though. System has a chance to deal 10% crit damage when attacking aircraft, so that's a 10% increase hit chance or crit chance and 10% crit damage chance. And you get an additional 8% times 5, so what's that, 40%. So there is maybe a crit build that you can do here, going hit rate, double system cooldown into the crit stuff is a potential. The steady firing after every 4 rounds of attack to the main weapon in the system, increase the rounds per cycle by 1 for the next round of attacks. So on the 5th round, you get an extra round of attacks, which should equal to, I think that's a 4% damage increase, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a 4% damage increase. It's either 4 or 20. Math is hard this time in the morning. Yeah, I think it's 4%, because the attacks per round are... Actually, no, attacks per round, 624. I think that is closer to a 20, maybe 10 or 15% damage increase if we do the math. So it's not a terrible strategy. And again, I guess with the crits, if you go in crit, the extra attacks might crit. How many slots do you have? You have 6. So that goes, strategy takes up 1, that leaves you with 5. Double hit rate, double cooldown, probably. Or is it 1 cooldown, double crit? I'm not sure. You'd have to play around and test that. But there's definitely something potential there. How about on the other weapon system? Double hit rate, double cooldown, reduce attack interval. That's what you go for. These cannon damage are only going to give you like 1 damage. So yeah, just not worth it. And 65 damage isn't really worth buffing here either. There isn't one of the nice 20% damage increases for anti-air. So yeah, you're not going to get much here either. You're going to get 10%, so you're looking at 6 points. 5. You could probably bring this up to around 100 damage per hit, which isn't like terrible. Instead of crit damage, you'd have to make up your mind if you prefer the crit chance and the crit damage, or if you're going to go for the damage for just a better sustain, basically, over a chance to deal more damage. So, it has potential. It is AA. We do like AA at the moment because the Swarm sucks, and packing as much AA as you possibly can just to kill off Swarm is kind of just like something that I like doing anyway. So I will probably unlock these and I will test them out and run them. I actually have, you know, a reasonable amount of tech points on these because I had to use them for a while. So yeah, that's the CAS and the CV-M011, the new one anyway, the new variant, and the new variant for the CAS. CAS looks really good and potentially quite meta, considering like the heal buffs and the armor buffs and all of that. It's got potential for certainly be used. The CV-M11, less of a potential there. It might just be put into a fleet just to kill off aircraft as fast as possible, and maybe you're missing T-800s or you're missing some other anti-air. They could be used to supplement or replace in that kind of situation. Newer players might not have them, so you might have that instead. So there we go. That's just a quick look at the two new variants, and yeah, they both look, you know, reasonable. The CAS looks particularly good, but the CV-M11 maybe. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.